Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. You can find me on Instagram at Nicole Makes Plans. Today I want to do a flip through in my bullet journal, so let's hop in. This will be for the month of October. Just to kind of show a little bit, my index is here at the front. It is a leuchtturm1917 bullet journal with dot grid paper. My future log is here. October was here, and then I reorganized it when I set up my month layout. And I like to set it up the week before the, like prior to the week when the first of the month is. So my month specific things are here that don't necessarily have a certain day, and then my events are on this side of the page. This is part of September here, and then the beginning of October toward the bottom. Day specific items on this side of the page, weekly to-dos over here. Going to skip ahead to October 1st. I had a half day of work that day. I went to the library and I got a movie called Queer, directed by Luca Guadagnino, and it has Daniel Craig. It was pretty good. It was kind of weird, but I would recommend it if you are into kind of interesting movies. This was the day Jane Goodall died, which is sad, but she was old and lived a long and good life. I also got the movie After Sun at the library, which was kind of like a slow burn. It has Paul Mescal. I highly recommend that movie. It is really sad and definitely probably should have like a trigger warning of some sort, so I would look into it a little bit first maybe, but try to go into it not knowing anything about it if possible. But it was very good. I like probably 2/3 of the way through the movie, I was like not sure how it was going, but the end really got me, so I liked it a lot. On Thursday, October 2nd, I got the movie Baby Girl from the library and I watched that. It has Nicole Kidman. It was pretty good. I would recommend it. I love Nicole Kidman, and like we share the same name, so that definitely helps. Friday, October 3rd is here. I had a meeting at work that I had to like host and organize, so I did put that in just because it is a little bit stressful to like coordinate, but I did it and it is done. Got the movie Bottoms from the library and I watched that. It was okay. I appreciate what it was doing, and it was like a diverse cast, and I forget her name. I think it's like Ao. I forget what her name is, but she's great. I do want to watch more stuff with her. I have not seen the TV show she's in, but we also went to the movie that evening. The Regal Cinema near us was re-showing Spider-Man from 2002, which is directed by Sam Raimi, and it has Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst and Willem Dafoe and James Franco. Very good. Love that movie. Maybe my favorite superhero movie, somewhere between that, and I really like the first Captain America movie. We also watched Freddy vs. Jason. We got HBO Max. That was not very good. Would not recommend that. Saturday, October 4th is here. My sister was in town with her boyfriend. We watched the movie Trick or Treat on HBO. It was okay. There was parts that I found kind of interesting, but like overall was kind of bizarre. My sister's friend's wedding shower was that day, so we went to her house to celebrate. On Sunday, October 5th, my sister was still in town. I watched the movie In the Mood for Love on HBO. I think I need to rewatch it. I did like it. Subtitles are not my favorite, but it was a very good movie. It was very beautifully shot. I love that it was kind of like 1960s maybe. And I think it's Japanese. I kind of forget. But that was very good. First full week of October is here. Monday, October 6th. I was going to go to a music event at my college where I went to school, but it was sold out, and I didn't know you had to have a ticket, so that was a little bit disappointing. Did watch the movie Sing Sing, which was on HBO. It has Coleman Domingo. I highly recommend that movie. It was very good. There was definitely some parts where I was like emotional and crying a little bit. We also watched the movie Freaks, which is from, I want to say, the 1920s or 30s. That was really good. I don't know if you could remake it today. I would hope you could in some ways. It's like pre-Hays Code, so like definitely a little bit risque and about topics like maybe we should be talking about more of just like different types of diverse people. But I thought that was very good for sure. I made a list of just time off I was taking here and there and stuff I wanted to look into or do on those days. Tuesday, October 7th is here. I had a half day at work. We had a event in the evening for a scholarship opportunity for students. I work at a community college, so that was exciting to attend. I watched the movie Portrait of a Lady on Fire on HBO. That was another kind of like slow burn, but like very good. Would recommend that. We watched half of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which I had never seen. We actually didn't end up finishing it. We just wanted to move on to something different. Wednesday, October 8th is here. I had another half day at work. I'd been working through my Letterboxd app where I track the movies that I watch and like going back through my old planners to log movies before I had got the app. So that's definitely like a work in progress, but I got a lot done that day. We watched half of the movie Christine, which was on HBO Max. It is a Stephen King book to movie adaptation. I like that movie a lot. I was very surprised. We had watched a different Stephen King monster truck sort of movie last year, which was Maximum Overdrive. I don't think that was very good. Christine was definitely like a better version of like a possessed car. So I would recommend that for sure. Thursday, October 9th, I had another half day at work. We had to watch Christine in 2 parts, so I watched the second part that day. I watched Lisa Frankenstein. I got that from the library. It was okay. I did really like Cole Sprouse in it, but something just didn't quite hit right. I appreciate Diablo Cody. Her screenplays and writing and like her dialogue is interesting, but I don't think she'll ever recapture the just what Juno was at the time, or even her movie with Megan Fox that I can't think of right now, and Amanda Seyfried, but that's okay. I made a list of new movies I wanted to watch, but I didn't end up really using this. Like I was kind of just seeing what happened to be at the library when we got the HBO Max app, like what happened to be on there. So I was off work on Friday, October 10th. I had lunch with my husband. We got sushi. We watched Superman, the movie that came out this year. It was okay in my opinion. It was not my favorite, but I do think this Superman was interesting. I wish they would have delved into the conversation of just like when him and Lois Lane at the beginning of the movie were doing like an interview and kind of just him kind of defending what he is doing and like why it's right or wrong or how the government's involved. Like I thought that was interesting, but there's kind of a lot going on and a lot of characters, and I like movies with like less characters and more character development, but it's okay. Saturday, October 11th is here. We went to a farm and got some pumpkins to decorate our porch. I went to my grandma's for my cousin's birthday party. We watched The Witch on HBO, which was pretty good. I probably should have put on subtitles. The like accent and just the sound in the movie seemed kind of weird. I feel like I do need to rewatch it. I think it was very interesting of just like puritanical pilgrim people in early America being haunted by a witch in the woods. That was the same day Diane Keaton had passed away, which is unfortunate. I had just rewatched Father of the Bride, and especially Father of the Bride 2. I think she's so good in that movie, and I know that's like not her best acting or movie, I'm sure, but I really like her in that. Sunday, October 12th, I watched the movie Renfield. I got it from the library. It was okay. It has Nicholas Hoult and Nick Cage. I could have used more Nick Cage. I feel like he wasn't actually in it enough. Did not really like Awkwafina's character, but that's okay. This is, I think, the second full week of October here. Monday, October 13th, I watched the movie The Substance for the first time on HBO, and I really, really liked it. The third act is certainly strange and body horror, and I liked it a lot, and you'll see later I ended up making my husband watch it, and so I watched it like 2 times in the same week. I really liked it. Not Diane Keaton. Demi Moore is fantastic. I think she did really great. I kind of wish, I think in hindsight, that she would have won the Oscar, but that's okay. Tuesday, October 14th, there was like a basketball kind of like preseason event at the college that I graduated from, so I went to that, and it was cool to see the new teams. I started a movie list of like Christmas movies to watch. I just really want to rewatch The Holiday. Wednesday, October 15th, we had a enrollment event at work, so that happened. I watched the movie Love Lies Bleeding on HBO. It has Kristen Stewart and Ed Harris and Dave Franco and Jenna Malone. It was interesting. Another weird kind of third act situation, I think, but overall felt like a new story I hadn't seen before, so that was good. We also started watching the Luther Vandross documentary that came out, I think, on New Year's Day this year on CNN. So we watched half of it that day and I think half the next day. Thursday, October 16th was my higher education anniversary. I work at a community college, and I've worked in higher education since 2016, so that feels exciting to have my 9-year anniversary. We finished that Luther Vandross documentary, and then I also watched Interview with a Vampire for the first time, which has Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. It was interesting. It has Kirsten Dunst. I think she was really good in it for being like 12 years old. Like, I think that was a very impressive performance. I really liked how campy Tom Cruise was. Sometimes I'm not sure if I like Brad Pitt as an actor at this point, so that's sort of interesting, but it was interesting. I would recommend it. Friday, October 17th, we went to a theater near us, and we saw Sound of Music, like live on stage. It was very good. Mostly made me want to rewatch the movie. They added some weird songs that I didn't think need to be added, but it was fantastic. We watched half of Insidious 3 that day as well on HBO. Had a phone call with my friends, so I made a list here of stuff I wanted to talk about. Saturday, October 18th, I had that phone call. I watched Where the Crawdads Sing. I didn't love it. It was okay. I think it had an interesting plot, but I would have maybe done it differently somehow. This was the day I made my husband watch The Substance with me because I was just, I felt obsessed about it. Sunday, October 19th is here. I cooked vegetable soup for dinner, which was good, and I had a video call with my sister. Third full week of October is here. Monday, October 20th, had lunch with my friend at work. We talked about planners and stuff. We watched half of the movie Get Out, and we own that on Blu-ray. I had a conference on October 21st. I had a phone call with my grandma that day, and then we watched the second part of Get Out. Wednesday, October 22nd, I had work in a different location. I worked on my budget, so I felt like I did a substantial amount, so I marked that in here. And then we watched A New Nightmare from Wes Craven. It was like 1994, I think. It was okay. I really liked the Freddy Krueger claw that was on set at the beginning. That kind of just looked like the hand in the Addams Family, but beyond that, it was kind of a weird movie. Thursday, October 23rd, we finished watching that movie. Friday, October 24th, I had a presentation at work, so I marked that. We watched Shelby Oaks in theaters, which was cool. It was directed and written by Chris Stuckman, who reviews movies on YouTube. So it's impressive to have seen him work all this time, and now he finally has a theatrical release. I didn't love it, but it was kind of unique, I think. And it takes place in Ohio, which is where I live, and like pretty close to where we live, no less, so that was interesting. We watched the movie Weapons on HBO. I think it was pretty good. I think I need a rewatch. There was definitely like a lot of themes and things happening. I felt like it was a kind of unique story. Yeah, I would say it's worth a watch and worth a rewatch for me. Saturday, October 25th, I got a pedicure, watched the movie Halloween. Sunday, October 26th, I read part of a book for work that has to do with higher education. Made some more vegetable soup. My back was hurting that day, so I notated that just in case. November is set up here, and this is the end of October, beginning of November down here, and you'll see my pen is kind of changing and all over the place. Didn't do much on Monday the 27th. It was my dad's birthday. Tuesday the 28th, I was off of work. I got an oil change, had an eye doctor appointment. My Amazon order arrived, and you'll see I switched to using a purple, I think it's called Platinum Preppy fountain pen, and it has the ink cartridge already in it, so I don't have to worry about like filling it with ink or anything like that. On Wednesday the 29th, I had some blood work done. I had breakfast or lunch with my husband, had to work for half a day. We had an enrollment event, and we watched the movie It Follows on HBO, which was okay. It was unique. It did feel different. I had a video call with my sister that evening. Thursday, October 30th, I saw my sister's friend at Five Guys, which we got for dinner. We finished watching that movie. Made a list of Christmas cards for like family and friends, and made a list of like stuff I want to like have a review of and like consolidate on like maybe a planner spread at the end of the year. And then Friday, October 31st is here. It was Halloween. We had trick or treat that night. We watched Poltergeist and The Exorcist, so that was a nice way to end October. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions about how I'm using this planner, or questions about any of the movies that I watched or other stuff I did. Subscribe to my channel if you like Plan With Me videos and flip-throughs, and hit the notification bell if you want to know the next time I post a video. It's not always on the same day, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.